Wednesday, December 3rd. There is the closing bell, guys. With the S&Ps down about 2 points on the day, we hit an all-time high only to get quickly rejected. Let's dive right in, break this market down, and then go over the top 3 stocks on the day. We take a look at the trading session, and it's a wild session for the most part. The final 30 minutes of trade, we saw a huge dump come into this marketplace. We zoom out a bit and we see the S&P 500. We put an all-time high in today. However, it was short-lived. Let's take things a closer look and look at the SPX. Now we look at the SPX, let's take a look at it on a 10-minute. So we came into this week expecting about a 70-point expected move. And you can see we're just about 30 points above the midline on the week. So the question becomes, are we going to roll over? If we roll over, look for the midline 36.38 to play some sort of support. And if the selling amplifies, look for that 35.67 level to play a support. Now let's cruise on to technology. Now let's take a look at the NASDAQ, because the NASDAQ have some pretty big pull on this marketplace. We take a look at the NASDAQ and we see the NASDAQ made an all-time high today as well. You can see it made it, and now it's putting in a doji. We see the volume is declining, guys. That could be a concerning factor. People are afraid to buy the top right here. But when we take a look at the big 5, guys, we see that they are down 0.36% on the day. So you can see when we compare that to the NASDAQ, it's actually lagging the NASDAQ, and it's making the S&Ps go red because the weight of these guys are just that big. But bigger picture here, this thing is putting in a pretty nice wedge. It's getting to a breaking point. Are we going to erupt higher, or is this thing going to roll over here? It's going to be interesting to watching this in the first couple of weeks of this month. If we do break higher, we are going to blow all-time highs, guys, because when we take a look at this on a year-to-date percentage, the big 5 is up close to 50% on the year. That's just insane. So if we go just, break out to the new highs, you're up another 6-7%. That's going to drag the market higher, guys, even if not even everyone is participating. Let's cruise on over and take a look at the small caps. We look at the Russell 2000, guys, and the Russell did not put an all-time high in today. However, it was up 0.6% on the day. It was our leading index with the NASDAQ right behind it. It's getting a bounce back. Let's take things a little bit closer and see some of the sectors across the board. We take a look at the sectors and we see that the XLE is our leader on the day, up close to 1%. On the year to date, it's down about 36%. The XLE and the XLF are 2 sectors that are down sizable amounts this year, and if we make all-time highs, we could see money flowing into these sectors just on the fact that they're beat up. Now, we take a look at the financials, and they're flat on the day, guys. Financials is not looking too good here. Possibly could be rolling here. It's going to come down to what the bonds are up to, guys, but overall picture here, we see most of the sectors, it's 50-50. It looks mixed, with the utility sector as our worst performing sector on the day. Let's take things a little bit closer and look at the advanced decline line. We see our AD line is 53.46. This AD line was about 2/3 up, 1/3 down. We saw that huge drop, and it got as low as 40 up, 60 down, but we're closing slightly up, but they're mixed just like our sectors, guys. So we see that indexes across the board are mixed. Small caps up and the S&P's flat. How are the bonds doing today? Well, we see the bonds are up 0.5% on the day. We'll see what happens here, but for the most part, it looks like the bonds are putting in a trend downwards. It's not looking too nice. When you just take a look at this, it's just not pretty. When we look at it on a volume profile, guys, well, what looks like where it wants to go? The 173 level. It's coming right here. We spent a lot of time in the past 30 days at this data point. Maybe let's see if we test this upper edge of this channel I just drew around 174. Bonds could get a little bit up, and equities could take a little pull back in the next week. We'll see what happens, but ultimately the bonds should probably camp this area maybe for a couple days. Let's take a look and see what volatility traders are up to today. We take a look at the VIX, guys, and the VIX is trying to bottom here, guys. Look at these green candles in here. Traders are slowly buying volatility. We take a closer look on a 2-minute and we can see Volatility got a nice bid up, coming right back down, but it's up 1% on the day. When we take a look at our VVIX that measures the volatility of the volatility, VVIX got a nice spike in that final 30 minutes. It gave some of it back, but on the bigger picture here, VVIX is trying to get back above that 110 line. VIX could be ready to pop. But when we look at the VIX index, the cash index, you know, there was a period where we kind of hung out. We could do the same thing, but we'll see what happens. It's going to come down to what the stimulus news is. It's market just waiting for that stimulus deal to get passed. But let's move on and take a look at the dollar index. We can see the dollar today hit 90.5 only to get a nice bounce. It's down 0.44% on the day. We take a closer look at this and it got a nice little rebound. When we zoom out a bit, you can see we're bouncing off the top of that range. So it could be a short-term relief bounce. We'll see if the dollar can continue into tomorrow, maybe drifting higher, but bigger picture, dollar should come down. The question becomes how fast. Now, what does it do to our gold? Well, gold today was up $15 almost, $18.44. Gold is slowly trending higher with silver right behind it today, up 0.56%. Silver is actually lagging gold today, but bigger picture, gold took a bigger beating on the way down. Moving on to Bitcoin, guys, and we see Bitcoin is kind of consolidating in this area. This is a pretty tight range for Bitcoin. It hasn't put an all-time high in yet, but it's within striking distance. This is going to be interesting. We see less volume coming into this product, so we'll see. Maybe people could be getting out of it. It's not moving what they expect it to do, and maybe that could cause a downturn. There you have it for the stock market breakdown, guys. Look tomorrow for the VVIX. See what the VVIX does and ultimately what our big five is going to do. The Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Facebook. These guys are huge. If they're down tomorrow, this market's most likely is going to be down with them unless we see some big support from energy and financials. But let's move on and take a look at the top 3 stocks on the day. So we head on over to the scan tab. We hit the scan button, guys, and there you have it. Here are all our contenders. Coming in at number 3 on the day goes to CrowdStrike Holdings, guys. CrowdStrike Holdings is up 13.64% on the day with a market cap of over $35 billion. On a year-to-date, CrowdStrike is up 226%. Now, CrowdStrike is a software as a service stock. And what do? Well, they protect attacks on both malware and malware-free. So it's a security stock, but it's in the cloud. So it's a software as a service. I really like these stocks going forward. But why is it up today? Well, it had a good earnings beat, and we can see investors flocked into it. On an expected move, guys, it's sitting right at the upper edge, right around the 160 level. So it's sitting right where the options market expected it to go. Look for it to probably cool off at this area going into next week. Coming in at number 2 stock on the day goes to Lemonade Inc. Lemonade Inc. is up 20% on the day with a market cap of $4.5 billion. On a year to date, it's up 15%, but it's up 20 today, meaning today it got a nice pop and it was down before today. Now, what is Lemonade? Lemonade is a PNC insurance stock, so they sell property and casualty insurance. And we look at it, it hasn't been around too long. It's up today because we look at 1 o'clock, the Motley Fool said to buy their shares. So it got a nice little pop. So we'll see if it can carry going forward. It hasn't been around long, but we look at it on an expected move, guys. And, well, we came into this week, we broke way down. We're sitting right at the upper edge. So, Lemonade, it's right where we expected it to go. Look for this $80 range to place some sort of resistance. However, bigger picture here, it could keep on chugging along. Coming in at the number 1 stock on the day goes to Zscaler. Zscaler today is up 26.45% with a market cap close to $25 billion, up almost 300% on the year. Now, Zscaler is a software as a service stock as well, and they provide fast, secure connections between you and your applications. And Zscaler is up today because it had an earnings beat. You can just see a nice amount of volume coming into it. We look at it on an expected move, and it just exploded. Coming in with a $9 expected move on the week, we're seeing close to 36. So this is a 4 standard deviation move. What are some possible pullback scenarios? Maybe 3 standard deviations. Around 177 could play some sort of a bounce, but These stocks are hot. All these SaaS stocks, I really like them. They're all remote, and I think they can keep on growing as technology grows with it. But there you guys have it for the top stocks on the day. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Did you watch any of these stocks, guys? If you did, where do you see them going? And if you guys watched this far, hit the thumbs up button, guys. It really means a lot to me when I see you guys liking my videos. And if this is your first time watching, show some love. Hit the subscribe button. I do these daily, and I'm trying to make the format fast and easy, quick. But anyways, guys, if you have any recommendations for my channel, I love to hear that. But on that note, guys, have a great night. Take care. Peace!